And a hearty hello to all you sports fans out there in Gondwana land. Welcome to the Steem Punke, my steam-powered vessel in which I traverse the planet to add to the largest library of information ever to have existed in the head of one individual. And who am I? Well, aside from being a library of useless information, I'm the captain of this vessel, and I'm here to present you with opinionated opinions about damn near everything. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel by clicking the appropriate links you'll find below. Help me grow this channel, and in return, I promise to present topics, discussions, examinations, analyses, and commentary to enlighten, entertain, and maybe piss you off. But of course, the Steem Punke won't be worrying about that. The goal is 1,000 subscribers. Let's do it. But now, let's talk about no GOAT for you. This silly trend of naming sports figures as the GOAT. I'll be back in a moment. Over the last few days, the Steem Punke has been plodding across the Sahara Desert. Our sand filters are working hard but are still effective, and we have plenty of water to finish this trip, so no worries there. Yesterday, the crew alerted me to having seen a goat. I asked if it was dead and they said it wasn't. Now, I had to wonder, what the hell is a goat doing in the middle of the desert? And how is it still alive? That got me thinking about this silly trend of nicknaming excellent athletes as the greatest of all time, the G-O-A-T, the GOAT. Whomever came up with that one ought to be forced to dine upon goat hoof soup for 6 months. Concerning the NFL, there's an ongoing argument as to which quarterback, either a guy named Tom Brady or one named Joe Montana, or one of a few others occasionally mentioned, is the GOAT quarterback of the NFL. The same argument is made about a player named Lawrence Taylor versus one named Aaron Donald and several other superstars who are or were defensive players. In the NBA, it's LeBron James against Michael Jordan or whomever others think deserve that accolade. It's all rather silly if you ask the Steem Punke, but it gets even sillier. Some have said that if Tom Brady, who still plays today in damn near his 55th season, I'm exaggerating, if Tom Brady had played back in the heyday of Joe Montana, who played during the 80s, he'd have been lucky to have won a single Super Bowl, due to the allowed physical intensity and roughness of the game back then. Those same knuckleheads also say if Montana could play in his prime today, he'd have won about 15 Super Bowls because things are so much easier now on quarterbacks in the NFL. The fact is, and this is important, that the game of professional football is in a vastly different era with respect to rules, talent level, overall athletic development, and new strategies and counter-strategies, so that it's impossible to make anything more reliable than a wild swinging guess as to how well a player from back in the day would fare in today's version of the game, and vice versa. The same is true of any competitive team sport. Yet, people will argue with spit flying from their pie holes, determined to somehow prove they're right, as if they could. It's all a bunch of brouhaha of dubious value because it means little or nothing in practical terms. Real sports fans know that although there is no doubt about the talent and the effects of such talent of a number of players in all sports, at the end of the day, talent be damned. Any given team can beat any other given team, whether they do so in a specific contest or not. There's a reason games are, well, actually kind of, sort of, played to determine who wins rather than just calculating scores and outcomes based on statistics, which really only matter as fodder for post-game analyses and discussions and to give professional sportscasters something to do to get paid between games. No player, nor team for that matter, has ever been awarded a single point for racking up numerical measurables, otherwise known as statistics, no matter how impressive those statistics might have been. While statistics do reflect how good a player is overall over the course of a career, they don't matter one bit as an indicator of who will or won't win a specific game, a series of games, or a championship. Statistics also matter to those foolish enough to gamble money on the outcomes of games because statistics, not actual in-game play, is the basis for odds makers' predictions. Of course, there are people who do make a lot of money gambling on sports, but the deep statistical knowledge and ability to expertly parse those statistics are necessary to actually make much of a living gambling on sports. Luck will do it sometimes, but not often enough. The average Joe, Horace, or Stevie will lose far more often than not, but will continue to convince themselves that losing money on a game somehow makes the game more exciting. Whatever. In summary, it's just rather silly to have such big arguments over who is the GOAT in any sport. Everyone who enjoys a specific sport will have their favorite player or players and will personally consider someone the greatest of all time according to whatever criteria makes sense to them. The same criteria might be meaningless drivel to someone else. This is why your GOAT may be different from that of another person. As for the Steem Punk, I think certain players might be statistically the best at their position in their era, but no one player is the greatest that sport has ever seen because of how the sports have evolved and grown. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah? What? All right, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Well, it seems the Sahara's abundant sands and desert winds have done a number on two of our sand filters, a matter to which I must urgently attend. So, as the shifting sands continue to slide across the hull of the Steem Punk, I thought a tribute of sorts to the mighty Sahara is in order. In that vein, and to that end, the Steem Punk would like to introduce you to an interesting, though not well-known, musician, composer, and producer known as Tao Mokada, whose work I will now present a sample of, coming right up. Very slick, very slick. If you'd like to hear more of Tao Mokater's work, be sure to like this video or indicate so in the comments below. Of course, since this is my ship, you'll likely hear more from this artist whether you want to or not. The benefit of being the captain of this vessel. But in parting, I remind you out there sports fans, there is no GOAT. And so it goes. Subscribe to my channel. You'll hear topics and discussions on this channel you won't hear anywhere else on the internet. You can also support this channel in a myriad of other ways, such as clicking on commercial links or sending me thousands of dollars. Please don't do that. Also, you can feel free to talk trash about me and insult me and call me every name you can think of, and even some you can't really think of, since you don't think that well if you're talking trash about me anyway. But it's not going to matter one bit to the Steem Punk. Rest very assured, any of these actions will be evaluated and afforded the appropriate response. They will either be much appreciated or categorically ignored. You'll be seeing me or someone surprisingly similar on future episodes on this channel. You won't be able to tell the difference. I don't, and I should know. So settle back as I close the book on another chapter of the Steem Punk. Bye now.